Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're having a blessed weekend. I'm just leaving church. Um, I absolutely love church. As you probably know, I've probably told it 1,000 times. I play the piano and the guitar in church, not at the same time. Some songs I'll play the piano, some I'll play the guitar, acoustic, and they sing. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, it's just a gift from God that I wasted for many years, and playing in bars and parties and college campuses and nightclubs, and just I wasted it for a long time. And I'm just glad that the Lord gave me time to come back, that I could get myself right, and I could get back to playing for Him like I should have been doing from the get-go. But we've all been down that road, I'm sure. Listen, I've talked a lot about these vision dreams that I've had, and I could not figure out why all of a sudden that I was, having these. Never had them in my life. I had them, a slew of them, as I said, in intensive care, and I've had two in the last couple of weeks. Now I know why. Now it's starting to come to fruition why God is showing me these things, why this is happening. As you all know, it's no big secret. It's all over world news. We know what Russia has been doing with the Ukraine. And let me tell you, folks, Ukraine is not a pushover. Don't think for a minute Ukraine is just going to be something that Russia can just roll over like it isn't anything. Ukraine has an excellent army. They have good aircraft. They have tanks, artillery, a big standing army of men. So this is a war. This isn't no quick skirmish where Russia in the past rolls over and that's it. So unfortunately, we're probably going to see a lot of bloodshed that's going to come forth from this, sadly, absolutely sadly. And I think a lot of this is because of the administration we have currently in the White House. I know you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with them way over there? Well, when you have somebody in the White House that is very weak, that doesn't have that sense of strength behind them, leaders like Vladimir Putin, and a prediction I'm going to make right here, right now, and that's Xi Jinping is going to be keeping a close eye on this. And he's going to see that the White House is going to really do basically nothing. Maybe some ranting and some raving, some hollowing, maybe some threats, but ultimately nothing will be actually done to Russia. China and Xi Jinping, which is the leader of China, the leader of the Communist Party in China, will be keeping a close eye on this, and I believe he will invade Taiwan. Not him, his communist nation will invade Taiwan. They have been on the edge of doing that for a while now, and I think he's going to see that the gentleman sitting in the White House is an appeaser. He's very weak, and I do believe that nothing is going to come of it, and he is going to end up capitalizing on this situation. And it brings a lot into play of these visions that I've had lately, especially the last couple of weeks with the nuclear explosions and the aftermath. And I could not figure out why was God showing me these things. Of course, I realize we're living in the last days. I realize a lot of these signs that, was put forth in the book of Revelations that Paul wrote on the Isle of Patmos. We're seeing a lot of these things manifesting today. And when Russia invaded the Ukraine, and this started this dominoes effect, which I believe is going to continue to fall, it almost was like the cartoons, where in a cartoon someone figures something out and a light bulb pops up over their head and they got it. Well, that kind of is the way it hit me, when all this started to happen. A light bulb went up off over my head, and I thought, okay, God, that's what you're trying to show me. That's what's going on. Folks, I do not believe that this is the end, by no means. What I mean by that is just with Russia, I believe this is going to snowball. It might take a bit. It's not something I believe is going to be instantaneously tomorrow, another country, but I believe this is the catalyst that's going to let it all start busting loose. I can't say for sure. I'm not a prophet. I don't ever claim to be a prophet. I don't give prophecy. All I can tell you is from these dream visions that I've had, 7 of them in intensive care, and 2 of them in the last couple of weeks. The last 2 especially, was focused around a nuclear holocaust, basically, and the aftermath of what people had to live through from that. And the ones in the intensive care were more the rise of the Antichrist, which actually culminated in one of the visions I had was the Battle of Armageddon, and I explained it in these videos that I did. The massive amounts of army, tanks, artillery, aircraft, the naval warships out in the seas were just so far that, they always said that on June 6, 1944, the armada that went across the channel to invade Europe on the beaches of Normandy was the largest, mass of ships in human history. And it was absolutely, at that time, was massive. I mean, as far as I can remember, people saying ships as far as the eye could see. This was 10 times more than that, folks. There was enough battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers, destroyers, all of the supporting ships, submarines, as far as the eye, and then some. Oceans full of military naval ships. And, I'm putting this stuff together. It's not easy for me because I've never experienced these types of, I call them dream visions. I know that's kind of goofy, but that's what I call them. And I've explained, the realism of these dream visions, whatever. I've explained it many, many times. If you want to go back into the archives, into my history, and go back and scroll back and read and watch some of the videos where I specifically talk about these visions and dreams that I've had, 2 in the last couple of weeks that circled around a nuclear holocaust and the aftermath that people. One dream was the actual event happening, which I was actually in, and I gave great detail of how, the explosion, I could see it, feel it, how everything just went black, when the shock wave was coming. The second dream, which I would have had about a week ago, was the aftermath of the ones that were left that survived through this Holocaust, this nuclear disaster on a scale that the world has never seen before. I vividly explained, the burnt victims of this, radiation burns, just horrible. I wish, to be honest, I wish I would have, God would not have laid this upon me, because it's terrible, folks. I know when I left the hospital, I was confused. I was in a very, very weakened state. But I was confused because this did not ever happen to me. And these dream visions were absolutely terrifying. I see this starting to unfold right in front of me. And I know it's going to happen. I know it is supposed to happen, and I know it will happen. And it's just coming more clear as these things start to unfold by the day. So first and foremost, as Christians, we need to be praying for the gentleman sitting in the White House. I don't call him by his title. I don't hate the gentleman, because that would go against, what I believe in and what Jesus teaches us. I dislike his beliefs. I dislike the way he attacks people. I don't care who they are. It don't even have to be him. It could be anyone like that. I don't like him attacking, name calling. I don't like the things he stands for, the pro-choice, a lot of the things that go against God's word he stands for. So, no, on that point, I don't care for his policies nor his politics, and I definitely don't care for his foreign policy because it's atrocious. He is very weak, and I said I don't believe he's actually running this country. I believe he's just the one in front, going out in front of the cameras, being told what to say. I don't believe he's actually the one in charge. That's just my personal belief. But I don't hate the man. We need to be praying for this gentleman. We need to be praying for this administration. And most importantly, we need to be praying for America. America's gotten so far off track. We've gotten so far away from God that it's unbelievable how far America's gotten away. And a lot of it began with the attacks on removal of prayer in schools way back in the 60s when this started, and we see how our schools have turned out since removing prayer, removing God, removing the Bible. We've seen how wonderful our public school system is. And I say that, cynical. Obviously, I don't mean it because they aren't wonderful. They're absolutely full of violence. And the things they're trying to be taught, this hatred, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But we need to be praying for every single one of these people in Washington, D.C. I don't care what line, what party you align yourself with. I don't care about that. I really, really don't. I love my country. I serve this country and I love it. But, there's bad on both sides of the aisle. So I don't line one or the other. I just pray that God gives them the wisdom to do what needs to be done correctly. Not something that will line their pockets and the American people suffer. And that is unfortunately what we've seen too many times here in the last 20 years with these people going to Washington, D.C., these representatives. So anyways, that's all I got for you. Take care. God bless each and every one of you. Please subscribe and hit the like button. I've been stuck on 259, 257, 258 in that area for a very long time now, and I'd like to bust up at least at 260. I know that ain't a lot for a lot of people, but for me, it's wonderful, and it's all because of you. It's all because of you people. Thank you. God bless you. I will see you probably sometime midweek. Bye-bye, y'all.